very good morning, students. Hope you all are fine and good. So the chapter that we are going to see today is chapter 8, Multinational Corporation. What is multinational corporation and what do you know about MNC? I think you know more about MNC, isn't it? So it is one of the most interesting topic. Okay, so I'll teach you through this lesson. So when you just complete this lesson, you will know what is MNC, what are the different names for MNC, the features, okay, and you'll be able to learn more things about MNC. So let's go on with the explanation now. The meaning and definition of MNC. A multinational company is one who is incorporated in one country, but whose operations extend beyond the home country and which carries on the business in other countries, in addition to the home country. So what is multinational company? For example, a company which runs in one particular country, maybe a company which runs in our country, for example, okay, that country has different branches in different other countries. Okay, one of the best example we can say is Pepsi. Pepsi and Co is a company which actually is originated in a foreign country, but its branches are being expanded in throughout the world, isn't it? So that is actually a multinational company. Okay, so different companies are there. So many companies are there. Britannia, this Hindustan Lever Limited, Bell, all that so many companies are there. Bell is actually a government company. Okay, so many companies are there which is called as a MNC. It is nothing but the head office will be in one particular home country. Okay, there what they will do is they will have the rules, complete rules and regulations will be formed and regulated by the home country, and it will be operated in the it is remote country, like wherever the work is going to go, where and all they are going to establish the branch, there and all they will just follow the rules which is already set by the headquarters. Okay, see, that is what is multinational company. It must be emphasized that the headquarters of the multinational company are located in the home country. So it is very simple, isn't it? So wherever your multinational company is going to get established, there is your home country. Yes, that is your home country. Actually, home country is nothing but where that company is going to launch for the first time, and which country is your company, that organization belongs to, that is called as the home country. Okay, so see, multinational corporation is known as various names such as global enterprises, international enterprises, world enterprise, transnational corporation. These are the other names that we have it for the multinational corporation. My students, please learn these other names for multinational corporation. You may get it for 1 marks. Okay, see the definition of MNC. So you have the definitions here. The Neil H. Jacobi definition is there. So please learn that for your exam. What is oligopoly? It is a market condition where there are very few sellers in the same product line. What is oligopoly? So for example, diamond merchant, only few diamond merchants are there who are going to do this work. Yes, so that is called as the oligarchy. Oligarchy is nothing but, for example, if I produce one medicine, okay, so the patent right will be in my name alone. So I am going to be the only seller. That is called as monopoly. Okay, it means only one person will have the right to sell it. Okay, oligopoly means only few will have. For example, if I have the patent right for selling that medicine, what I will do is I will sell to some dealers. Maybe some 2 or 3 dealers I will sell. So here what happens is that will become oligopoly. Is it clear? See, the global enterprises are the business organizations which operates in more than one country. It means it will operate more than, the business will actually run in more than one country. And since they operate in more than one nation, they are also called as multinational company. Since they actually run in more than one countries, that is why it is called as a multinational company. Okay, so let's go on with the advantages now. The first advantage is low cost labor. What is low cost labor? MNC set up their facilities in a low cost countries and produce goods or services at a lower cost. It gains cost advantages and sells its product and services of good quality at low cost. This is not available to smaller companies which operates at regional level. What is this actually? Low cost labor. It means, see, that is very simple. The countries like India, what do? When you just get a job in US or in the UK, you need to pay more for the employees. Yes or not? But in India it is not like that. The cost of labor is very less over here because population is very high, so the cost of labor is also very less. So what do they do is they will just make one company here in India. Maybe the company will be the headquarters will be in their own country, maybe in UK or US or whatever, and they will establish one branch over here in India. Okay, and then they'll get the employees will be placed, the jobs will be given over here, and even they are paid very less when you compare to that particular home country. When you do like this, what happens is your production will increase and your profit will also increase. Yes, because they're paying very less. So there if you pay for example 1,000 rupees if you pay for one for an employee, here they'll pay that same 1,000 rupees for 5 employees. So it is profit for them, isn't it? So that is what they think for. Okay, that is low labor. The next one, quality of products. What is quality products? So you can't find out the few products. If you just see all over the world, you can't find all the products enriched in all the countries. Okay, few products will be available at only at few places. Okay, and not in all the countries. So what they will do is, based on the raw materials which is required for them, okay, if that raw material is available in that particular branches of MNC, what they will do is they will just collect the raw materials from that particular country and they will just use it. So here what happens is, again the cost is going to get reduced, because if they want to take it to the headquarters, it will take much money for them to just get the product from the home country, and they wanted to just from the branch country and in the remote country, and they need to send it over there. It takes a very much of cost is required, involved in it. But here what happens is it is not required that much. The reason is, what is the reason? Because if you want to do it like that, then you need to pay more. But if you are going to just utilize those resources and the place where you have the branch, the remote, what happens? Your cost is going to get reduced and your profit will also realized more. That is what quality products. See, the resources, experience and expertise of MNCs in the sphere of research and development enables the host country to establish its research and development system, which helps it in producing quality goods and services at least possible cost. So with a very less cost, they are able to produce they are able to give a good quality products. See the next point, proper use of idle resources. What is proper use of idle resources? Idle means what? The resources which are actually getting wasted. Okay, for example, how to say, you have a oil refinery. Okay, so there what do you use? You just use the coconuts, you just make the refined coconut oil. For example, what you will do, you will just grind the coconuts into the mill, and you will take all the shells and all the the excess of coconut, and you will just convert it into oil. And where your shells, your coconut shells are there, right? So what will you do with that? You can even resell that shelling for some other purpose, where you can just make it as a money. You need not waste it off. Yes, so that is also possible. So even your ideal resources, suppose if you have a granite company, what will you do? You will just make the granite. When you are selling the granite, you will cut the granites into shape and you will sell it. Yes, so the extra pieces are there, right? You can't just throw it all that granite, the small pieces, you can't throw it away. So what they will do is, like, they will just, a few people, they will use it like a rubbish for decorating. They will use their walls. For that reason, we can just sell it off. Okay, at a least cost. Maybe it is not of waste, but you can sell it at a very less cost. So here what happens? Your ideal resources have been utilized effectively. That is what this point is. See, because of their advanced technical knowledge, MNCs are in a position to properly utilize ideal physical and human resource of the host country. This results in an increase in the national income of the host country. So actually, because of the effective utilization, what happens? This will actually contribute to the high level of national income. It will increase the national income, and this is what which happens with the MNC. They actually use the complete resource in an effective manner, and they are able to contribute a good income towards the national income. See the next point, improvement in balance of payment position. What is improvement in balance of payment position? MNCs helps the host countries to increase their exports. As such, they help the host countries to improve upon its balance of payment position. Actually, when the MNCs when they make the product, what will they do? This product is actually made, it is produced for some other country, isn't it? You are working in an MNC, you are just doing a job for MNC. What will you do? So some process will be done which will be done for some other country, maybe manufacturing garment, a garment factory. Okay, what will they do? They will produce the garments and it will be exported to that particular country, isn't it? When the products get exported to that particular country, what happens? There the balance of income and payment will become it will become stable, isn't it? It will become equal, where it will lead to equilibrium. Yes, that is what. See, the balance of payment is being helps the host country to improve upon its balance of payment. It means when you just send more money outside, when you send more goods outside, what will happen? Money comes in, which will make a balance in your payment position. That is what. Okay. Next one, technical development. MNCs carries the advantages of technical development 10 host countries. In fact, MNCs are a vehicle for transference of technical development from one country to another. And because of MNCs, poor host countries also begin to develop technically. So what actually happens? See, for example, a company which is launched the home country, for example, a company is actually run, the home country of a company actually is based in US. Okay. So you know the technology in US and all, isn't it? So when that particular company is being launched in India, that host country, it has a branch in India. What happens over here? That same technology which is there in US, that should also be adopted over there in India also, isn't it? So because of this, what happens? The technology gets developed in India also. Yes, it is actually taken away and it is actually made in India also. So this helps them to even become more stronger in technical development. Okay, that is the next point. See, sixth point. So managerial development. What is managerial development? MNCs employ latest management techniques. People employed at MNCs do a lot of research in management. In a way, they help to professionalize management along the latest lines of management theory and practice. This leads to managerial development in host country. What is managerial development? It means, okay, actually the MNCs and all, if you see in the home country, they have so many techniques. Their technology will be very much more. Okay, so they will follow very big managerial development techniques and all. Okay, so here what happens when they just develop in a home country, the regionals have been developed. What will they do? They will actually that managerial development, they even bring it in the home country also. So that is the managerial development here. So because of this, what happens? The whole that particular country, for example, India, we have a country, we have a company which has a branch in some other country. That kind of management will be done even in the branches in India also, isn't it? See, that is what, in a way, they help to professionalize management along latest lines of management theory and practice. This leads to managerial development in the host countries. Even we are able to know when that is run in our country, even we are able to know what kind of management they run with, and even that is even followed by the other countries or companies also, isn't it? So we are getting developed by the managerial development. That is what. Okay, see the next point. Excuse me. So the next point that we have is end of local monopolists. What is the end of monopolists? The entry of MNCs lead to competitions in the host countries, and local monopolies of the host countries either start improving their products or reduce their prices, and thus MNCs put an end to exploitative trade practices of local monopolists. As a matter of fact, MNCs compel domestic companies to improve their efficiency and quality. So here what happens? End of local monopolists means before the existence of MNCs, some companies will be there. They'll be doing some work, and for that they'll ask them to pay more charge. The price of the cost will be more for that particular product. Here what happens is MNC will make a stop to this kind of job, because when they produce the same kind of product, say for example, I can say one maybe a paper cup or something. Okay, so when you just produce in an MNC a paper cup, this is actually made in only cottage industries, but I'm just giving you an example. Okay, so when you just make a paper cup, what happens? For example, okay, we'll take another example, a garment business. Okay, so when an MNC is launched here for a garment business, what happens is the cost of one particular t-shirt will be very less when you compare to the local people, because they'll exploit means cheating. They will cheat the local people, and they will sell it at a high cost. When MNC comes into the local area, what happens is it will force them to reduce the cost and sell the product, otherwise the products will not get sold. So that is actually a good benefit because of MNC. It gives an end to the local monopoly people. Okay, in India, many Indian companies acquired ISO 9000 quality certificates due to fear of competition imposed by MNC. So because of after the MNC existence of MNC, what happened was in India, so many companies started to get the ISO certificate. Okay, in order to just show that they have a good quality in their product and all. And since they have a fear that they will get a very big competition because of MNC, that is the main reason. Okay, so these many things have happened because of MNC. See the next point, improvement in standard of living. Of course, because of MNC, what do we get? So many people are getting jobs. Yes, and even so many, because of that particular company, many suppliers are getting job. Even maybe the transportation people are getting employed. So many are working into that company itself. Okay, and during the transportation or during the shipment or everything, many are getting jobs. So this actually improves the standard of living of the common people in that particular host country, isn't it? That is what. See, by providing super quality products and services, MNC help to improve the standard of living of the people of the host countries. Promotion of international brotherhood and culture. So actually what happens, when you just work for a company, say you are working for an Australia company over here in India, what happens? You will start to learn their way of talking, isn't it? You will be able to know what is their culture and what kind of language, how they use their, everything is actually different. The way, the tone, how they, the talk, and the accent, what they use and everything, isn't it? So you will start learning the culture of Australia if you're working for Australian process. And if you are going to contact the customers, you will know like how the mentality of the customer is, and accordingly you will act, isn't it? That is what. So MNCs integrate economies of various nations with the world economy. Through their international dealings, MNCs promote international brotherhood and culture and paves way for the world peace and prosperity. Actually what happens, and even they will develop them to give a good world peace also. For this also MNC plays a major vital role. Okay, so the next point that we have, the next topic is disadvantages of MNC. The danger for domestic industries. Of course, when MNC comes into India, what will happen? The same kind of industry which we have in India, they will have a danger, isn't it? Because their product are going to get, it is going to be produced, and they will have a heavy competition for the other products, and here it will be a danger for the local products. Yes, yes. So MNCs, because of their vast economical power, pose a danger to domestic industries which are still in the process of development, and domestic industries cannot face challenges posed by MNCs. Many domestic industries have to wind up as a result of threat from MNCs, and thus MNCs give a setback to the economic growth of host countries. Okay. So actually because of this, what happens? The small traders and all, they need to go for an end of their work. Yes, they must put an end for their business. So and even it is very difficult to give a heavy competition with the MNCs if you are a small trader. So that is the first point. The next point is transfer of outdated technology. Yeah, if you are using a very old technology, that is not, it won't be possible, because if your MNC comes, they will use all the high technology tools they will use. So here, where MNCs transfer outdated technology to host nations, it serves no purpose. So what happens? When you just use the very outdated technology, it will be of no use. So the transfer of outdated technology, already some technology will be there in India. For example, Okay, when the MNC comes, they think that it is outdated technology and they'll try to bring a new technology to India. So because of this, what happened? That outdated technology will be of no use. It will be thrown off. That is what. Okay, it will be converted to a new technology product. No benefit to poor people. No benefit to poor people means MNCs produce only those things which are used by the rich. Therefore, poor people of host countries do not get generally any benefit out of MNCs. Of course, this MNC is created for the rich people only, and the poor people are not getting benefited out of MNCs because all the products which are made is only for the rich people, isn't it? They are not able to afford also to buy these products. That is one of the disadvantage. The fourth point is danger to independence. What is danger to independence? It means initially MNCs help the government of the host countries in a number of ways and then gradually start interfering in the political affairs of the host country. So even what do? Even they will interfere into the political matters also, and there is then an implicit the danger to the independence of the host country in the long run. Of course, because of this, what happens? They will not be able to take a decision on their own. So automatically, this MNC will play a major role in the independence also. So it will actually play a danger role, okay, for this and all. See the next one. Deprivation of job opportunity of local people. Of course, the local people will not get the job if the suitable requirement is not there based on the MNCs. MNCs may not generate job opportunities to the people of home countries. So that is also there. Misuse of mighty status. MNCs are powerful economical entities. They can afford to bear losses for a long while in the hope of earning huge profits. Once they have ended the local competition and achieved monopoly, this may be the dirty marketing strategy of MNCs to wipe off the local competitors from the host country. So of course, because of the powerful market, what do? They will just they will wind up all the small local marketers and all, and they will just try to make their product as a unique product. That is one of the big big thing which is done by the MNC. So here what happens? Small entrepreneurs and all will not be able to achieve more. That is what. Careless exploitation of natural resources. So of course, because since they are not established in their own country, they are going to do it in a different country, even exploitation also will happen. So careless exploitation of natural resources means the natural resources also can get exploited because of this. What they will do? They may exploit the people by just for example, we can even say this kurkure packet and all, if you see, very less it will be inside, and the packet will be very big, isn't it? That is actually exploitation. They cheat the people. Yes, the Lay's packet, the biscuits also, if you see, the packet will be very big, and if you see inside it will be very less. That is not as exploitation only. Okay, so they are actually exploiting the people by and even they are even exploiting the natural resources also. So see, the MNCs tend to use the natural resources of the host country carelessly, and they use a rapid depletion of some of the non-renewable natural resources of the host country. In this way, MNCs cause a permanent damage to the economical development of the host country. For example, in our country, if they have the usage of plastic is very, very harmful to our society, isn't it? But these MNC, what they will do is, whatever it is harmful or not, they are not worried about it. They are only worried about their profit. So they, of course, they will use the plastic product to just to make a pack of their product. That and all will happen. That is the exploitation. Okay, see the next point. Selfish promotion of alien culture. Of course, their culture will be promoted here. If a UK company is going to host here, of course their culture should be adopted by the company, by the people who are working in that particular company. So that culture will be promoted here in the host country. That is very selfish, isn't it? They must have their culture in their own country, but since their company operate in India, they will promote their own culture here in that particular company also. See, MNCs tend to promote alien culture in the host country to sell their products. They make the people forget about about their own cultural heritage. In India, example, MNCs have created a taste for synthetic food, soft drinks, etc. This promotion of foreign culture by MNCs is injurious to the health of people also. See, we are the people who just don't depend on the before 10 or 20 years and all. If you see, soft drinks were not taken much by the people. Very less will take, but not much of the people will not take soft drinks. But now, because of the influence, because of this involvement of MNC and all, what happened? So many started to take soft drinks, junk foods and all. Okay, so that is one of the selfish promotion, isn't it? So that is the and it is also very injurious to our health also. See the last point, neglect of industrial and economical growth of home country. What is that? It means an investment in home countries is more profitable. MNCs may neglect home countries' industrial and economical development. An investment in home country is more profitable. Of course, when they do it in their home country, they get it more profit actually. Okay, but they don't do it in their home country, because see, that is what neglect of industrial and economical growth of the home country. They don't want to develop the economical, they don't want to show development in the home country. They just want to develop their own country only, isn't it? So they want to neglect the industrial and economical development in the country, that is the remote country wherever they are going to launch. That is the last point. Okay, so examples are given here. Please children read this. Bata is also a MNC only. Colgate, palm oil. Okay, palm olive is a Colgate India, that is Colgate palm olive. Then Sony Corporation, Sony India. All these are example. Okay, see the name Indian affiliate subsidiary. It means the name which is given in India, that is also there. Foreign multinational company names are this. These are the logos for it. Okay. So these are the examples that we have. List of Indian multinational companies and their logos. You have so many companies. You will get examples for this. Students, you will have it for your exam. You will write the names of a few names of the companies, the multinational companies in India. That question will be asked for you. So please learn any 2 or 3 names of the company names. Okay, you will get it for 1 mark, or even you may get it for 2 marks question also. So please learn this. So by this lesson gets over. So what did we learn in this lesson? We learned what is MNC, advantages of MNC and disadvantages of MNC. Students, please learn line by line. Okay, so if you have any doubts in this lesson, please come back to me for the live session. And moreover, your monthly test is also going to start, so please prepare well for your monthly test. Okay, and write, if you have any doubts, write in a paper. When I come for the live section, please ask me the questions. I'll be happy to explain you. Okay, take care students. Prepare well for your exam. All the very best. Thank you students.